Dire team ban. Radiant team ban. Dire team ban.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to our second American game of the night here in the WePlay League Season 3, Shazam versus EnemyGG. My name is Dragondrop, bringing this match alongside
Radiant
Annie.
team
How's it
pick.
going?
Representing NA Dota there, so I'm excited for game 2. I don't get to see a lot of EnemyGG or Shazam, so looking forward to some interesting drafts. I've done my research. I'm kind of looking at picks, and well, there could be some amazing pickups here.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we already see the bands coming out, which are more or less targeted here. Though we see that band out every once in a while. OD, similar kind of story, but especially in the American scene, the Enchantress not going to be joining us, as well as the Abaddon. So very annoying heroes taken out of the pool.
Absolutely.
Which might mean that we see some others, like a Beastmaster first pick. Interesting, maybe not necessary.
I think it's completely necessary. Both the Abaddon and the Enchantress bans are targeted at Sovereign, which is one of the really, really strong players at EnemyGG, and I think that Beastmaster is his pickup as well. He's an offlane player. He's 7.9k MMR. This guy pretty much carries EnemyGG on his shoulders. He's such a strong shot caller, so I think picking up Sovereign's hero first is certainly not a mistake.
Alright, that's research paying off here. Maybe I should have paid more attention myself, but hey. Yeah, Beastmaster, very, very strong offlane hero, very versatile. I mean, does give you a lot of intel with the Hawk, very strong in any stage with the boar, and a lot of pushing potential actually, and teamfight potential, or even just pick off between the roar and when he goes that Necrobook build. Can actually dish out a whole lot of damage with that just because of your inner beast aura, just making these Necro creeps hit so much faster and thusly with so much more DPS than you're maybe used to from other heroes. But well, EnemyGG gonna have that to fall back on. Faces Void though, probably gonna be the offlaner for Shazam here.
5 seconds
and yeah, he provides some teamfight control in his own right. Together with the Invoker, already some good potential there.
Yeah, I'm loving the Invoker pickup. I think he's obviously one of the most in-demand heroes this patch. Makes a really stable mid. I've seen him run in the safe lane a couple times, but I'm thinking we got a mid-Invoker here, and I'm not sure what EnemyGG is going to pick up against it. Their mid player is going to be Slayer. He likes the Invoker himself. He does happen to play Ember, Puck, Death Prophet, and Lina a good amount, and those are all still in the pool.
I wouldn't hate the Lina here. It's kind of as solid as it gets when it comes to most mid matchups, really. Just because you can stay away from the action if necessary. You have a good nuke to get last hits and also harass at the same time. So if they want to go for that, I wouldn't blame them at all. Puck though could also be an interesting choice actually if you think about it. Invoker faces Void. If you can get the silence off at the right time, you can turn things around them rather quickly there. But for now, I'm gonna go with the Witch Doctor. So yeah, lane sustain, a little bit of extra support, and a lot of extra physical damage later down the line. To a point where the Faces Void misses the Chronosphere and maybe catches a couple of teammates in it, and not the Witch Doctor, then that can turn around at them pretty damn fast.
Absolutely. Witch Doctor, he's high risk, high reward. You know, he's very squishy, very easy to kill off, but he can output so much damage with his ult, and the lockdown from the Paralyzing Cask is fantastic. This Witch Doctor is going to be either played by Flying Zebra or Frozen, the two support players here on EnemyGG. They both have played Witch Doctor recently. In fact, within the last week, both of them have played Witch Doctor, so kind of a toss-up here. Going to see, you know, how it fits the lineup best, how they want to run this, and, well, the next band coming out is going to be on the Night Stalker, so they certainly don't want to get locked down here. Shazam, they could definitely punish squishy heroes like the Witch Doctor pickup.
Yep. Draft still very open here for both teams. I mean, sure, you have kind of some of the lanes already set, more or less in stone, but there's still some flexibility there, and it still doesn't really tell you a whole lot about the rest of the draft. I mean, if you have Faces Void Invoker, you can go for sort of a global strat if you want to. Maybe pick up a Nature's Prophet or Spectre as your one position, just be able to kind of go on targets across the map on the back of the Chronosphere. Just kind of have to time the haunt properly, but well, as I said, still very open EnemyGG as a result ban out. Some of the more popular heroes here like the Gyrocopter for TC that don't want to give that to him. Shazam, they ban out the Fuzzy Wuzzy themselves, so not willing to fight up against the bear, and What else are
10
looking to ban
seconds
here? Do
remaining.
they just ban a mid that could work well against the Invoker, or do they just
5
keep focusing
seconds
on carry
remaining.
heroes?
I think they gotta start banning mids. Death Prophet has made it all the way through the pool thus far.
Reserve time.
I'm not quite sure how she fares up against Invoker. She could have a tough time, but when it comes to tower push, she's pretty much unmatched. So I think taking Death Prophet out of the pool would definitely be something Shazam should consider.
Oh, they're taking their time, so I do assume that that is what they're considering right now. But yeah, enemy. We talked about Lean, we talked about Puck, but that Prophet, you brought her up. Also, very nasty piece of work outside the mid lane, even for an Invoker. I mean, he isn't as... okay, they're not banning
Dire
any of that, they're
team
banning
pick.
the Vengeful Spirit instead. Are they just not worried?
I'm thinking maybe they just might let EnemyGG have whatever mid they want and be so confident in the Invoker that it doesn't matter, because, I mean, Shazam, definitely a confident team here, and, well, the Faceless Void pickup shows that off very well.
Alright, we'll see. I mean, they definitely don't lack for confidence here. Shazam also
10
fairly
seconds
successful, I
remaining.
believe, in the last couple of games. He won against a team called CG. Lost to
5
DC.
seconds
Oh, it sucks.
remaining.
But hey, they've got a member of the DC standing in for them today, so maybe that rubs off for them.
Reserve time.
Yeah. Actually, I had the standings open here a second ago, but then I lost them again.
Yeah, I mean, both of these teams, obviously not the absolute top of the charts for NA Dota, but seriously strong players on this. Shazam, they've got their new roster all ready to go. I think this roster, minus Fun, if you kind of wedge Pandango into that spot instead, that's going to be their lineup pretty stably until probably about TI6.
Yep.
They're ready to continue locking in with that, practicing as a team, and let's see what they can do with it here in this WePlay tournament.
Yeah, just got the brackets up right now. I mean, Shazam could definitely use the win. They're 2 and 3 right now, so not the worst. They're definitely not the worst standing. NMEGG though, they need it much more desperately. They're 0 and 3. Still have yet to pick up the first win in this particular tournament. So we'll see whether they can make it happen. But Shazam, well, they're really thinking about this.
Bane.
Okay, that's just the Bane. That's
Radiant team pick.
Well, what
That
does
was-
it tell us? Once again, not a whole lot, right?
I think it's telling us that Shazam wants to rotate around and they want to be the initiators. Bane's one of those heroes that's great. He pokes out of the trees, he nightmares you up, he can Fiend's Grip someone to take them completely out of the fight, but he's pretty much entirely single target damage. So I think Shazam, they're going to try to build a combo around that. They've got the Faceless Void and the Invoker for some nice AoE teamfight damage, and then Bane kind of to go in and pick off a
10
big target on
seconds
EnemyGG. So Shazam looking to be the aggressors here. Bane doesn't
5
play super
seconds
duper well from a
remaining.
defensive standpoint.
If you're EnemyGG right now, are you thinking about a silencer?
Reserve time.
Just kind of stop all that aggression in their tracks really later down the line in the mid game.
I think it's possible, but I don't know what position you'd run him in to have the maximum impact. Sure, you could throw him mid, but Invoker's going to harass the heck out of him in lane. You could throw him safe lane, but I don't think he's going to get as big of a core as maybe Shazam could pick up and farm that core up really heavily. And as far as supports go, I don't see Silencer comboing super well with the Witch Doctor.
That's definitely something that where you have to make some cuts and what else you want to pick up. But hey, EnemyGG also taking some of the bonus time to think about what they want. So we talked about mid heroes already. So what do you think the carry choice is going to be if it isn't that Silencer in that position possibly?
On the side of EnemyGG?
Yeah.
I'm thinking, well, it's going to be a Banana Slam Jamma who's going to pick it up, and he's been known to play Jug, Ursa, Morph, and Terrorblade most recently. The Ursa's going to be banned out, but the other 3 are still in the pool. Do you think this is a game that Terrorblade could get off the ground in?
I'm not sure actually. There's a decent amount of AoE. You can kind of use the Chronosphere to try and figure out. All right, just stop everything. Just stop all the Terrorblades. And then just figure out, alright, this one's the real one, just focus him down easy, right? And if you do catch a Terrorblade with stuff like that, then he's actually rather easy to bring down, especially if he can't sunder away. But not sure if that's the safest route here, but the Viper, definitely safe. You're one of the more annoying heroes in the mid lane up against pretty much any other hero.
Remaining.
Yeah, I mean, we've got EnemyGG. They're going to be the dirty Viper
5
pickers here.
seconds remaining.
Is this mid or safe lane? I'm thinking it's going to be more of a mid Viper because he does fare very well against Invoker, able to completely harass him back, make sure that he can't really attack because of that poison skin. I'm not sure Viper would really get off the ground in a safe lane.
Nova?
Yeah, we've got a Luna.
Okay, that's a hero that I always love to see. It's kind of unfortunately right now it's kind of considered to be a mediocre carry hero. I mean, Jarikov is just doing everything just that little bit better, but of course that's being banned out.
10 seconds
So
remaining.
you do have to push from the glaives. You do have the kind of a little bit reworked
5 seconds
reworked
remaining.
ultimate to a point where you can just go axe refresher, these kind of crazy things,
Dire
and
team ban.
kind of be a walking disco ball.
Yeah, Luna, she's very situational, and there's a reason we don't see her picked up a lot. It's because she needs the first 20 minutes of the game to just kind of be sitting in lane, not participating in fights or ganks, and just completely farming.
10
That's all she has to do,
seconds
and I think Shazam, their lineup is going to support that very well, because they've got the
5
Invoker, who,
seconds remaining.
for the most part, will be able to win mid. They've got the Bane to rotate around and help set up kills if they need,
Reserve
Faceless Void. He'll be relatively stable on his own, so Luna, well, I think she could definitely get off the ground
Radiant
if she's
team
not
ban.
punished in the first 15-20 minutes of the game.
And punishing is something that EnemyGG can do now with the Chen pickup. I really like that as well. Just to negate the Luna ultimate to a big extent. I mean, you're always gonna bring
10
creeps with you.
seconds
You not just
remaining.
only have the Beastmaster Boars and perhaps Hawks here if they stay in vision to soak up one or two of these beams. You're also gonna have a bunch of
Dire
Chen
team
creeps to do that for you. So that Luna ultimate might not be as easy to use as they may be needed to, depending on how the laning stage goes.
Yeah, the final ban here for EnemyGG is going to be the Mirana, and I think that's really, really smart. They don't want the Bane-Mirana combo going in, because that's just unbelievable lockdown on one of the heroes of EnemyGG, and they need these heroes to be able to get in and position themselves
10
very
seconds
carefully in
remaining.
team fights. Beastmaster has to be able to land the perfect shout, Witch Doctor, obviously,
5
that Death Ward is
seconds
going to be a
remaining.
huge component of their damage output, and if Viper gets stunned up and locked down for too long, then pretty much all of
Reserve
EnemyGG's right-click damage is gone.
Yeah. I do agree. I absolutely do agree. I mean, it's bad enough if you have the Bane
10
plus you don't focus on
seconds
Strike.
remaining.
You don't want to add a Mirage on top of that, but
Radiant
Shazam gonna
team
go for the
pick.
Bounty Hunter, so another type of roaming support that can also provide a little bit of extra burst damage if not locked down after the Bane initiation there. So, it's also
Shazam's
someone
lineup.
that's... Yep.
Yeah, Shazam's lineup is incredibly greedy right now, and I'm not saying that in such a negative sense, but Shazam are anticipating playing from an advantageous spot the entire game through.
10
Bounty Hunter
seconds
does
remaining.
not play well from a defensive standpoint, and I think if he can get off his level
5
6 at a reasonable
seconds
time,
remaining.
the track gold from the kills from the Bane and Faceless Void rotating are just going to stack up and up and up. So I'm hoping
Reserve
Shazam
time. 10
are just going to
seconds
get in,
remaining.
start with the lead, and continue it the entire way up, but EnemyGG, they can punish
Okay.
that, and there's the Terrorblade we talked about earlier. That's gonna be a banana slam jam, a Terrorblade. Are you excited or what?
I am super excited here. Apparently they're not as worried as I was about the Faceless Void, but hey, at the same time that's a very long cooldown, and Banana Slam Jammer, he should probably be able to play around that. So yeah, Terrorblade. Always fun to see, that's for damn sure. Kind of BS that he can kind of bring to the table here, but... And with that, I actually want to give EnemyGG the late game here. Even the mid game if they play it right. They have a Viper, they have a Chen, they have a Terrorblade, and Chen might have some issues with Bounty Hunter early on, which is why I think that's also a decent last pick there for Shazam, just having that hero stalk the Chen around. Not only keeping tabs on him, but also soaking experience, but
10
this Terrorblade can
seconds
change
remaining.
things a bit, because right now, all you really have is the Faceless
5
Void,
seconds
and a
remaining.
Bounty Hunter to try and put on some harassment. The Witch Doctor should be able to handle that. And all you need to do then is just keep tabs on the Bane to make sure that you don't die.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think Shazam, if they take this ultra late game, they've certainly got it. That Luna scales so well, the bounty track gold is going to add up. But Enemy, their job right now is just don't really die a whole lot before the 20-minute mark, kind of starve out Shazam a little bit, and make the mid-game harder for them. So without further ado, let's introduce these teams here.
Yeah, starting with EnemyGG here on the Radiant side, we've got Sovereign on the Beastmaster heading to the offlane. In the middle lane, it's going to be Slayer playing the Viper. Rosen right after him playing the Chen, looking to get some creeping action going on. Flying Zebra on that Witch Doctor that only leaves BSJ, Banana Slam Jammer, the one and only, playing the Terrorblade.
Well, here on the side of Shazam, we've got MSS going to be playing that offlane Void, SVG going to be on the support roaming Bounty Hunter, TC on the core Luna. Over here near the rune, we've got Brax on the Invoker, and finally Fun standing in on the Bane.
Well, he might have a lot of fun here if he gets the proper Nightmares off and proper Fiend's Grips. But that all depends on what kind of rotations he can find and how much he's needed in lane actually, because Bane up against a Viper can actually be super advantageous if you just commit a little bit of time, perhaps even an early point into Enfeeble to him, just to make sure that the Invoker has no problems whatsoever.
Yep, so far no rune contest. It's going to be Viper and Invoker grabbing him up, going towards this mid lane together. How does a Viper fare up against an Invoker?
Well, all things being equal, you should be able to harass Brax out early on until he gets a couple of extra levels. He shouldn't be able to really to really respond to that. I mean, Brax looks like he's going for the Exort build, so kind of standard nowadays. So he will have Fortress builds available to him, which is definitely the way to go, right? You want to have right clicks instead of magic damage up against the Viper. He should be alright. Brax shouldn't be losing, but it's not an easy matchup anyway.
In the bottom lane, we've actually got an off-lane Luna with a Bane babysitter, so it's going to be very much an aggressive off-lane. Making sure TC gets enough farm is going to be a big challenge here.
Well, that's curious, actually. I mean, you talked about on the draft how much Luna needs to farm. But I guess it's only Witch Doctor here. Bane kind of 1v1ing him here on the side with side pulls too. So that leaves a 1v1 with Luna up against the Terrorblade. And sure, BSJ, right now he still has the Metamorphosis going, but that's going to time out soon and won't be coming back for another 100 seconds. And that means that Luna's actually the one with not just a range advantage, but also damage advantage on the back of that Luna Blessing.
Here towards the mid, we've got Bounty Hunter being the epitome of obnoxious here. He was following around Chen in the jungle, just invis behind him, splitting up that XP, so making it a little bit harder for Chen to get those levels that he desperately needs to be of use in these teamfights. We could have an initiation here as SVG going very close into this bottom lane, looking like he wants to set stuff up. We've got the Chen as well. There's a lot of Radiant heroes, but Dire, they've got some nice damage output.
Yeah, you gotta watch out. I mean, you don't really have all the utility going on the Bounty Hunter. You don't have the slow from the Janata. All you really have is the Orb of Venom, which shouldn't really be enough to bring down Flying Zero. That being said, though, with a well-aimed Sunstrike from Brax, that could kind of tip the scales a little bit, but that's maybe why we see Frozen here make his way to this particular side of the map.
Banana Slamma Jamma could be the target of the damage here. There is going to be a Lucent Beam being skilled. Now it looks like Banana Slamma Jamma trying to go in. We're going to see a Sunstrike coming here, and it looks like the first blood will be cast. Fun is going to kill off Banana Slam Jamma to secure first blood here for Shazam. We might not be done here as Frozen getting very low. He's going to get killed as well. Bane getting a double kill here in this bottom lane. Things are starting off very well for Shazam. Now Flying Zebra, what are you doing, man? Get back. He's going to take another Lucent Beam to the face. Triple kill for the Bane at 2 minutes in the game. Holy mackerel, how does Enemy come back from this?
That was a little bit worse than I expected. It started off with that well-aimed Sunstrike that I just mentioned, and then just kind of snowballed it, just underestimating the damage potential from the Luna. Now 2 points up into the Lucent Beam, and also extra right-click damage. I mean, if you look at the Bane, he has a decent amount of right-click of his own, then add 16 on top of that. That starts adding up, plus the Brain Sap, plus everything else. The slows from Bounty Hunter, making it work for them, and yeah, Enemy just not ready for that amount of damage output.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Enemy definitely underestimated Shazam on that last engage, but hopefully not anymore. We had a little bit of doubt about this offlane Luna, but TC is showing us how it's done.
And STG, he's still doing Frozen. Let's get a couple of right clicks in. So there's plenty of mana left for these invis to sneak more experience, and he's almost level 3 now at the end of that all.
Here in the jungle, we are going to have an initiation here as Frozen's going to get very low. Witch Doctor doing what he can. He does have the Dusk if he needs to reveal SVG, and it looks like that might be the play. Dusk is going to be cast, and now Flying Zebra going to be able to finish him off with just right click. So Bounty Hunter overstayed his welcome just a little bit, and he's going to get sent back to the fountain.
This Brax once again setting that up. It's easy to forget that the Sunstrike can come anytime, anywhere. 71 did almost did Frozen in there, but nice little turnaround with the Witch Doctor being there at the right time with the Dust as well to secure the counter kill.
Ooh, bottom
Now,
lane. It looks
slight
like
mana bottom lane. BSW, he's in a lot of trouble. TC with Sunstrike, a little bit of misplay there from SRG taking Nightmare, but it's quickly ended. Sunstrike will miss. Cask, though, not enough to keep them safe. At the Terrorblade going down again. TC on Luna, this time claiming that kill.
That's so important for Luna to get. She has to start stacking up these kills. Her farm is pretty good. In terms of net worth, she's actually going to be third on the chart. Viper is taking the #1 slot, so we haven't really talked about this mid lane a whole bunch, but, well, Slayer's been doing a very good job of keeping the Invoker back and securing farm for himself.
That is as you would expect here with this kind of 1v1 matchup. But that being said, though, Brack, he's still getting decent amount of work done, not just with the Sunstrikes across the map, but also in terms of last hits. He's keeping up. He might just be going into that Midas, and then if you go later into the game, his prosperity is assured as well. So,
well,
yeah.
Absolutely.
The only
Oh,
X
here we
factor
go.
that, oh god, again, Frozen. Slowed down, there's a little bit of short toss, Brain Savage just being right-clicked down.
Yeah, Bounty
Just
Hunter
indeed.
finally finding himself a kill. He's been walking around this jungle for a good long time, and it looks like the aggression might not stop here. They're trying to go in. Maybe they're going to find out Flying Zebra. He has 1 dust left, and well, SPG is playing very aggressively here. He knows that some enemy heroes do have vision. He's got to be very careful where he walks.
Being said though, I mean, as long as the Bane and Luna's right next to him, he should feel rather safe to at least be able to grab a counter kill. Being said though, BSW, BSJ. Why did I say BSW? I have no idea. I'm super tired. But hey, he does have the Metamorphosis, so if they can get a good cask off perhaps, these heroes should still melt. It is Luna with 700 health points and 7 armor. But that's a level 3 Metamorphosis on a Terrorblade.
Yeah, that's going to help him out a good amount here, but Terrorblade's not doing so hot in terms of net worth. He's actually going to be 5th on the chart. Certainly not ideal if you're a safe lane carry, but Terrorblade's strength is just taking it towards the late game, constantly applying lane pressure and getting farmed that way, so no huge rush for him. It's alright if he's not top of the charts right now.
Bit of a lucky find for Sovereign there. Gets to the top rune spot, finds the Invis, TPs immediately to the bottom lane, so it looks like they want to try and equalize the kill count in this particular exchange here. Just need to find an opening here, but at the same time, top lane is completely empty. Another rotation comes out from Shazam, so they know something's up. MSS comes in with the Drone Spear on 2. BSW, there's the Sunstrike. Do they have enough damage? They do. With the Brain Stab finishing him off like 0 with the cast there, but it's going to be enough. A little bit of nuke damage from SVG. Tries to keep himself alive, but hey, he will be swiped down by another right click and another Lucent Blade Frozen. Next one on the list here, there it is. TC claims that one. Sovereign unable to do anything. Because Shazam just a little bit too quick. A little bit quicker than him on the trigger finger.
And the Centaur goes down, so Chen, little moment of mourning for him. This bottom lane has been an absolute war ground here. Shazam making it their own, completely forcing out the Terrorblade, the Witch Doctor, the Chen, anyone that comes in their path. So now it looks like the first tier 1 tower of the game going to be going the way of the Dire, and this tier 1 is actually huge. It opens up pretty much the entire Radiant jungle to the Dire.
So I guess we can be thankful that we don't have another partner in this game, or else we might see another 50-minute game at this rate. It's definitely starting in a similar kind of vein for Shazam as it did for Arca on the last one, but... Oh,
we are
no,
going to have a smoke. It was scouted out by SPG. Wonderful play by the Bounty Hunter. His nuisance is just going to be making sure the Radiant waste a little bit of gold on a smoke and certainly a lot of time. And, well, now they're confused as to what exactly happened. We're going to see some Radiant pressure on the mid lane, but I'm not sure if Dire's going to respond to this in time.
Should be able to take this here with BSJ. With that Metamorphosis pops, so just going to be able to let this go. Farm up in the meantime here, we've got TC and MSS on the bottom, Fun got his level 6 up at the top, so that's a big milestone for him. Allred also has the Arcane Boots, with the 4 kills and 4 assists that he's got on his belt. No surprise that he's got this kind of timing, but now might be able to rotate in on him, Sovereign. Looking for the roar here, can't quite get in range though.
Yeah, but meanwhile, we've still got Luna down bottom, farming up a storm, has the Morbid Mask completed, probably going to be going into that Helm, eventually scaling into Satanic, keeping her alive, keeping her hitting hard, fast, and mean. And what's your plan if you're enemy? How do you stop this Luna from getting absolutely monstrous by the mid-game?
That's a good question. All you really have is... I mean, you have a Viper who's doing good mid, so... Once he gets his mechanism, they can just kind of try and group up and just, yeah, headbutt your way to the tier 1 towers, get some extra gold that way. then also try and find pickups with the Roar,
Dire's
but
top tower is under
Shazam,
attack.
well, they keep being aggressive here. Another Chronosphere off cooldown. They find Sovereign and Slayer here. The cast comes out. There's the TC's ultimate. Doing a lot of work, even committing the Fiend's grip on to Sovereign. And now they should be able to find Slayer here. Quite tanky though, 3 points up into the Corrosive skin, but not enough to keep him alive at the end of the day. TC is in range for one last Loosened Beam, and that's a double kill for him. Creep Wave pushing in, so potentially, or most likely, not the tier 1 tower to boot.
Look at the kill score here. I usually say that the kill score doesn't say everything, but we're 1 in 10, and that's on a team with a Luna, with a Faceless Void, with a Bounty Hunter, all heroes that scale incredibly well with a high kill score. Bounty Hunter, he's still level 5, so he hasn't even started to benefit from the track gold, but taking a look at the net worth advantage, it's already over 4,000 in favor of Shazam.
10 minutes in, that kind of a net worth advantage without the track gold.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Well, just gotta imagine how bad it's gonna
Radiant's
get
middle
if
tower is under
ENG
attack.
gets level 6 soon and starts getting these track kills going for his team, and it's not a good time here. And, yeah, Enemy, they're trying to do what they can here. They start grouping up a little bit with the Terrorblade and Metamorphosis, just using that as the shield and as their one skill that makes Shazam not to want to engage into you, and also making sure to use that Chronosphere cooldown. But looks like Shazam, they're not worried at all. They're
Looks like
just
there's gonna
TPing in
be
this ring.
3-man rotation here down bottom. MSS actually taking some heavy damage from Terrorblade. Gonna be trying to leap as much of it away as possible. He really wants to apply pressure to this tower. SFG's here. He does not have that level 6 just yet. It looks like Banana Slam Jam is gonna be the target of the aggression. There's gonna be a double damage Viper here. Can SVG get out of this alive? Viper just wanting to focus on the tower. Looks like the Radiant are gonna get it down. They're gonna have to chunk it through a Fortify here, but I don't think it's gonna be a problem unless there's a super clutch deny. But no, it does go the way of the Radiant. Now MSS wants to go in. There's gonna be a Fiend's Grip here onto the Viper. Slayer might end up being the first to fall. Newly shining mechanism goes off, but it's not enough to keep him alive. Now TC chasing him down. No ultimate from that guy, but he has the Loosened Beam. Might end up using it here on BSJ, and he does, and he secures the kill. So it looks like Shazam, they go in, they lose their tower, but they get like 2 kills off of that. Certainly worth it because they don't trade anything.
Yeah, absolutely, and a lot of extra gold going the way of Brax as well, and as well as the Luna. So that Invoker, after having not the easiest time in mid, now starting to surpass the Viper by about 700 gold, 600-700 gold. Of course, also has the Midas going. So hey, everything is just falling into place for them. Beautiful plays, well done from MSS. Just want to point that out. For the time walk out, just when BSJ got low, so he couldn't sunder him, and he wouldn't have had the time to turn around and sunder someone else, because the Loosened Beam was coming out at that exact moment too. So just making sure that you don't get caught off guard top lane. Yeah, that's the cast coming. But yeah, Flying Zebra's all alone, maybe not so much. Dominant coming in from the back with the Raw. TPs are in though. SVG and the Chronosphere once again on 2. MSS trying to decide on the target here. They're gonna go for Frozen instead as, yeah, well, Sovereign. SVG's just clearing him up. And,
2
yeah,
track
just like
kills.
that.
SVG got both tracks off in that fight. That is incredible. This gold is going to start stacking up beyond belief. And now, well, we've got TC just killing off Chen creeps to boot. Those poor little harpies never knew what was coming for him. Down bottom, we've got a Bane going to be spotting out the Viper. I don't know if Bane wants to solo this. He's got the Fiend's Grip here in 5 seconds, but there's going to be no reinforcement.
Well, this is Sunstrike. I guess we're gonna do the math. Sunstrike right now does 280 damage, 290 pure damage almost. You have the pure damage from Brain's Head. That's an extra 300. Honestly, with Nightmare as well as Fiend's Grip, you should actually be able to bring him down. There it is, Nightmare. Teleport in even.
Yeah,
okay,
Invoker's
that's
coming
Brax
in.
Roots of Travels. Just wants to have a up close piece of the action, so just with the remote totally, and yeah, easy.
Yeah, that's just Shazam not giving any breathing room here to Enemy, and that's exactly what they need to do to carry themselves towards the mid game, because if Terrorblade gets enough space, he can certainly make it so Shazam feel unsafe on their map. But I mean, as of now, Banana Slam Jamma, he's 0-4-0. He's not sitting too hot on the net worth chart. He's on the 5th slot here. No big items for this guy except for maybe a poor man's shield and some power treads. He's going to be flying himself in a goodie right now, but that's only a bracer. And now we're going to see Dire go for the Roche. So Dire, they're just feeling a lot more confident here. They've kind of hit their stride. They're ready to push themselves into the mid game. And Enemy, it feels like they're trying to scrap together what's left of their laning phase.
Just everything falling into place with Shazam. The Chronosphere, Yeah, he's got like 3 or 4 chronospheres, all of them on 2 heroes every single time, pretty much using them on cooldown to great success. TC able to benefit on the back of that. Fun, obviously, big controlling factors. So and yeah, Brax just not dying, able to provide the long range artillery, and of course all of that being supported by SVG with the tracks, with the slows, with the intelligence he just was able to give, and the nuisance that he was. To Chen throughout the entire early phase of the game, and now that leads Enemy to just force into this kind of play, right? They smoke behind the tower, just to make sure that there's no sort of reaction coming out from Shazam that goes unpunished, just to secure tier 1 tower. But now, might not even be out of the woods. If they continue here, there's a smoke from Shazam, SVG is gonna scout them out under the cover of Invis, but there's a sentry ward here, gotta be careful. Gotta expect that, but MSS, he's just waiting for the chrono. You can feel it.
Shen could be the unlucky one here. He's the farthest back. We're going to see Terrorblade initiate. We're going to see a dust right away. It does catch out SVG. There's going to be a nightmare here from the Bane, trying to keep his buddy alive. Bane's going to go and use the Fiend's Grip onto Slayer. There's going to be a shout. It does end up canceling Bane's Fiend's Grip, so now Bane's the first to fall, and Invoker does grab the kill on the Terrorblade. Shen goes down as well. This is not looking so hot here as the Viper falls. We're going to see a TP attempt out from Sovereign. Can they cancel it in time? He will get out back to his base, but he has to leave 3 of his teammates behind on the floor of the battlegrounds here, so it's going to be a 3-for-2 trade. Who do you think came out on top there?
Well, according to the fight recap, there was Shazam, obviously. I mean, all of the 3 cores survived. Didn't get any tracks off as Bounty Hunter was the first one caught, kind of with the dust in the back, so as MSS was going for BSA, but, well, that's just the start of the game. Terrorblade dying again is not what you want to hear. Luna getting more money is not what you want to hear, so, yeah. Enemy, they're kind of getting breadcrumbs, but they need much more than that to survive and actually don't starve to death.
Look at TC and this ancient stack. Holy mackerel, is that a 5 stack?
That is 2 sets of golems, 2 sets of thunderhides, and a set of dragons. Yeah, that's a 5 stack.
That's a 5 stack. That's gonna be like 1,200 gold going her way if she finishes that all off. She's got the Helm of the Dominator now. She's got the Yasha. Probably gonna be going into the Manta for that, and well, she's gonna have it very, very soon. She's still sitting on the Aegis as well. She's got about 2 or 3 minutes left on that if she wants to go push something, force maybe some rotations out from Enemy. I think Shazam, they are in such a comfortable position, and I don't see them losing their lead anytime soon.
Yep. Anything else to add there? Enemy, just once again, they're just trying to do what they can. Hang on in the back, SVG. Find the courier, can slow down and one-shot him, alright. Just to add insult to injury here. Enemy, just gonna have to make sure not to let that get to them. There is no chronosphere, but only for another 5 seconds. MSS ready to come in, not just with the time walk, but also with a blink Fiend's Grip in the back somewhere. And yeah, they're just gonna swipe out the Witch Doctor before. I'm thinking that Nightmare on Slayer, chronosphere in the back on BSJ, so he will fall immediately. Does get Thunder off here on SVG, then a little bit of health from Shen, so he's still alive, but can they make anything else out of his Viper? He would just go down without much of an effect. BSJ, he's still just trying to run away, but he's being cornered. And
GG!
He will fall too. GG is called with the Chen dropping down. So this game not lasting much longer than the last one, honestly.
Wow, these NME games are so much quicker than I expected. The last time I watched Archon, they took like an 80-minute game, but we saw them GG out and win a game in 15 minutes. This game's going to be going the way of Shazam in just over 17 minutes. So NA, a fierce region with a lot of fighting. We saw a lot of kills here. If you took a look at the final kill score, it was actually 3-22. I think that is probably the appropriate time to GG out. I didn't notice that until we went into the final score, but